So I had a friend come over, a contractor friend, and spent a few hours yesterday kind of going through the build so far and areas where I needed to make some corrections. Like just making sure the corners are even, and just different little small things. Altogether, it came up with about 5 things that I need to correct. And so that's pretty good considering I'm not a professional builder, and this is a do-it-yourself project. 5 items that are not very significant but needed to be worked on. Are pretty happy with that. As you can see in the background right there, we have a forest fire that started, a lightning strike that started into a forest fire, and so I got that to look at as a view. That's kind of horrible. I hate fire season here. And of course we have another huge fire up north end of the lake, the Elmo fire, and that's been going on now for a week. So it's fire season here in Montana. It's hot and it's dry, and so we're just dealing with it. But anyway, one of the recommendations that he made was, instead of going horizontally with the OSB, because it leaves a seam that will have to air gap, and I'm not using the zip tape or anything like that, was to go vertically with the sheets of OSB so they line up on the studs and keep the seam there. So I went ahead and I took down the first 2 that I had laid out and taken his recommendation, and started the first one set up vertically. This piece had to be cut because if I were starting right here at the corner, it would go 16 on center, but because you have this 2x6 here, I had to compensate for that and shorten up this first set of OSB. Now everything else down the line should line up 16 inches on center as we go. But we'll keep working at it and start getting this put together. We're getting closer and closer to getting the roof on. That's still a point of anxiety, but we're getting close. Definitely getting closer. What the fuck? You dirty son of a bitch. The reason why this piece is shorter than the other is I'm trying to reuse one of the ones that I cut horizontally, and I'll just offset this first panel, but the next one is a full-size sheet, and we'll continue with full-size sheets all the way down the wall. I got the first side of the front half of the house done, and now I'm going to switch to this side so that way I can run full panels till you get to the front door here. The reason being is that once you get to the front door, that's a little offset of 16 on center, so things are going to get a little bit shortened up, and it's a big wide opening, so I don't want to waste a lot of sheets as I'm going. So we'll get this one started, and we'll start moving towards the door in the center of the building.
The city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life is just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5. Happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, trying to save your time, in case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list. Girl, you can skip this funny business, cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond.
It's a new day, and we're continuing on. I managed to get these couple panels on, but yesterday we had gusty winds up to 30 miles an hour, and it made it really tough to try and move those sheets around, and plus it got really hot. So decided to call it a day and focus on getting these panels secured, and then we'll start in again today. The top of the windows I'm going to frame to the bottom half, but I'm going to leave the top because I don't know exactly how I'm going to have to frame, you know, the gaps in between here with the trusses and all of that. So I don't know how to block that in yet, and I don't know how to sheet that. So we're going to hold off on the upper half of the windows until we get to that point. But let's continue on.
I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, you can keep your 9 to 5, cause I'm happy with the simple life. Oh Lord, you can keep your 9 to 5.
Well, it's the next morning and we're back at it. Got just too tired and hot yesterday, so decided to take a break from it and get back at it this morning. We're going to continue on this side towards the center of the door. I did have to add another 2x6 on this side here. I didn't realize that I had missed putting one in when I was framing, so I was wondering why my 16 on center was a little off. But so now I got that fixed, and we're going to continue on. It's a slow process by yourself. You know, they say that comparison is the thief of joy, and that's very true. There's a construction that's going on just down the road about 3 miles, and I watched these guys in one morning put in all of the floor joists and the floor decking on this house in one day, where it took me 2 weeks. So it's very hard for me to think about that, because I don't know, it's kind of disappointing. But realistically, I'm one guy, I'm out here doing this myself, and it's going to take a long time, and there's going to be some mistakes, just because I'm a first-time home builder. So we just keep plugging along, keep reminding myself that this is a journey, and enjoy the experience rather than try and compare myself to what's going on other builds. I mean, I'm one guy compared to 6. So anyway, we're just going to keep plugging away at it, and we will get her done. I'm back out here early in the morning trying to get some more work completed. The big problem is it's been hitting the high 90s by around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which makes for a long, hard day with the heat. So I've only been able to get 6 or 7 hours in. Not my usual time. So just kind of having to take it slow and work with what I can in the heat. And but we're making progress. I got this entire side done, starting on the other gable end to get that done so that I can start prepping for some of the layout. But we'll continue at it and work with what we can in the heat. Both of the gable ends are done, and so now we're going to move to the front and the back. These are pretty standard cuts until you get around the doors and the window, top of the windows. So we'll start working on the different pieces there and keep trucking along here, but we're slowly getting it. As you can tell, it's already starting to heat up. It is starting to look like a house. I managed to get all the front done and both sides, and so now I'm back on the back side getting the last of the few pieces I need up back there. But it's coming along, and it's starting to look pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll just keep at it and keep plugging away. It's a little bit of work to try and get up in some of these areas with the ladder, with the open windows and that, but I'm making do, and I'm finding a way to get it done. All right, we'll just keep at it. Luckily, I've got a little bit of cloud cover. That direct sunlight is a real monster, and so it's kind of nice to have a break. I'm in the final stretches of the OSB, which is pretty good. It's been a long week. It's already at 7:30 this morning. It's already 77 degrees, and the sun is beating down. So if we're not fighting snow and wind and cold, we're fighting heat and dry, windy conditions. So it is what it is. It is just working out outside and on our do-it-yourself project. So we will get on with getting the OSB on and finish up. Just to kind of show you a little bit of where we're at here. I've got almost all the main sides up, but I still have to get above the headers, close in this side of the house, and then that should do it for putting on the siding. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's been a little bit of a fight, especially for one person, but we're getting it done. One of the most critical things I almost forgot to do was to cut out these bottom pieces of the 2x6s so that the door fits evenly across the bottom. I am pretty pleased that I am finally done with putting the OSB on the outside of this house. It was been a long process, made even tougher by how hot this last week and a half has been. But managed to get it done. I've still got the center window, but I'm not going to finish sheeting that until we get the trusses up and I know exactly how I have to frame around it in order to put the sheets on correctly. So I left a little bit of that open, and I'll sheet that when it's done. But altogether, I'm pretty pleased with how things turned out, and the next step for me is to start putting additional bracing on this shell, and then start prepping for the trusses. That's a pretty exciting piece of what's coming up, so stay tuned for that. If you like this type of thing, please remember to like and subscribe, and leave comments down below. I'd love to get them. Anyway, thanks for watching.